What makes Detroit's jazz community different from any other communities that you've experienced?
In this place, you have a chance to learn from those from many generations. People are very forthcoming with giving information because the old heads and the veterans in the community, they really want to see our music thrive. They really want to see jazz go on and reach farther heights to the next generation. And they really want to see the music progress and see how it takes shape over time too. So there are so many people that are very open to hearing what people in my generation and my contemporaries have to add to the tradition.
It's not just music that's passed on, it's other, cultural traditions within the jazz community that, are passed down from generation to generation. So what are some of the lessons or, stories like that you've come away with so far?
I've come away with a multitude, and I'm very grateful for them. The fact of being a person of your word and how your word is your bond, right? Because being a musician and a performer, all you have is your word. If you don't show up, then the gig can't happen, or you're gonna put somebody in a bad spot to have to find somebody else. So it's, if you say you're gonna be someplace, you're gonna do something at a certain time, you're gonna be at that place on that day at that time, and you don't want to, you don't want to upend somebody's trust. If you tell somebody that you're gonna learn some of their music, you go on and learn it. If you tell someone you're gonna send them some music, you're gonna learn it. So it's just, kind of that process of diligence. And I've gotten that from both my mother especially, and from many of my mentors on the scene.
You've been on a drum line during the Detroit Will Breathe protests. So what prompted you to participate in that and go out there and do that?
The drums is within that context, it's a very unique situation as a drummer because, we're really kind of helping everybody stay on their feet, stay on the mission, continue with the chant leaders, because there's actually been a few movements that I've heard of that have kind of fizzled a little bit, without there being a rhythmic element that is helping to carry the bus forward. And I'm very grateful for the other drummers that I've met in this process because there's so many other people that are out there that have some of the same whys and some different whys than me, and we're all out there for the same reason. People I've never met before. And I just feel like it's really something that's that can be a part of history.
What is the most important thing to you about jazz?
That's a loaded question, my man. I'll tell you what. But I'll say that the most important thing to me is I call it action in the affirmative. The spirit of yes. The spirit of yeah, let's do this. The spirit of, well, this is a new thing to me, but I'm gonna learn it right now, and we're gonna do it, and we're gonna figure it out, and we're gonna make things happen. We're gonna make people jubilate, and we're gonna bring not only art to the people, but we're gonna bring them some spontaneous good energy that they need, whether it's live or in the studio. So to me, jazz is about yeah.
Jazz is kind of like a small community, subculture type thing. Everybody knows the progress of in the development of the young folks. We always this particular genre always kept up with young people because the energy always comes from young people and the ideas, although the knowledge is from the older folks.
There's rigor in the community education school here. The rigor is that there's expectations that you will learn the music, that you will execute.
And you don't realize it till you go other places, how blessed it is to be working in Detroit. The level of musicianship is just strong here in Detroit. I mean, not only the level of musicianship, but the knowledge of the songs. I mean, you can call a song and everybody knows it, and knows the right changes.
There's traditions that are very African-centered, like respecting your elders. And I think those things to me are really are very precious, and they're the things that really make the community what it is.
You know, Barry's lessons also went beyond music. Charles McPherson, alto saxophone player, tells a story about when Charles was 15, 16 years old, had begun going over to Barry's house to study. One day Barry saw that he had his report card. And Barry said, Charles, I see you have your report card. Can I see that? And Charles says, yeah, sure. So he gives it to him. And Barry looks at the report card, kind of furrows his brow, and he looks up at Charles and he says, well, I see you've got all C's here. And Charles sort of offhandedly says, well, yeah, I guess I'm just average. And Barry really lit into him. And he said, look, man, you cannot be average and play this music. Your heroes, Charlie Parker, Bud Powell, Dizzy Gillespie, Thelonious Monk, these are not average men. You got to get it together. And Charles says that talk really changed his life. He shaped up, started reading, made the honor roll. We should remember that the lessons of people like Barry Harris and teachers, music teachers, sometimes go way beyond music.
All the skills that you learn in jazz, you could run a Fortune 500 company, because you have to deal with so many personalities, and you have to accept the independent mind and thinking and openness of other people to be able to play. And in order to play with another person, perform with another person, you have to evaluate and negotiate all the time. Sometimes when I'm playing with a drummer, they're not going to play in my time. So they just kind of play. They're the boss. So I can fight against that. And if I fight against that, the music doesn't sound good. But if I agree, I have to let go of my ego and agree. And that negotiation happens in the first 3 minutes of the gig. And so we have to, at some point, humble ourselves to the music. So if the drummer is feeling better than me, I go with them. But generally, if I'm making it feel better than them, they go with me. And so that's a negotiation that you have to do in real time. I've been in meetings with people where people have their way they think about it. And I said, well, yeah, let me hear your perspective. And sometimes they win me over. But sometimes I'm able to sway them with what I'm thinking because I listen to them. And being a bass player, you're in the middle of everything. So you have to listen. Listening is the key to leadership, because it doesn't have to be your idea, it just has to be a good idea.